It's as if Elon Musk got into a Tesla Cybertruck and kept backing up over President Trump's big, beautiful bill until it was shredded to pieces, calling the tax and spending measure that barely passed the House a disgusting abomination, a massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. Now, Trump told reporters that Musk didn't like the absence of an electric vehicle credit, though that was never in there from the beginning, and then got personal.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. People leave my administration and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly. And some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome.
And suddenly the world's richest man went nuclear. Without me, Donald Trump would have lost the election. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's now been deleted. He embraced a post saying Trump should be impeached. Trump on Truth Social. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate, and he just went crazy. A very mixed media reaction from those who had liked Elon Musk and those who didn't.
Elon's calling the president a pedophile. Wow. I don't think Musk's seen the Epstein files, and if Trump was in them, Biden probably would have released him.
The Democrats have been trashing Elon Musk for 6 months, okay? Trashing him, all right? Calling him every name in the book, etc. I want to see, now that Elon's come out against the bill, at least for the moment, are they going to start backing Elon Musk again?
Now, we all knew this was coming. I'm not sure we knew it would be quite so Real Housewives of Mar-a-Lago, but everyone knew it was only a matter of time before Donald Trump and Elon Musk broke up.
No, this is what I'll be pouring this in my Newsnight mug tonight.
Oh, Lord.
Pepto-Bismol is what we all need here in the Republican Party.
Joining us now to analyze the coverage, Robby Soave, senior editor at Reason Magazine, and Annie Linskey, White House correspondent for the Wall Street Journal. Robby, the media are loving this. They are devouring it. Elon Musk, Donald Trump. We all knew there would be a breakup, as one of the pundits said, but what accounts for the sheer viciousness of this battle that was started by Musk?
Well, look, there's a genuine disagreement over spending priorities
here. Oh, you're going to substance now.
Well, that's what it is.
They're calling each other names. It's like high school.
Well, because Trump comes from the world of entertainment and reality TV, there is that aspect to it, and the media obviously love this. But I will say, the media is just unfamiliar to watching this happen on the Democratic side because you don't see disagreements over, well, you don't see this kind of tone. They don't take this kind of tone. And you don't see disagreements over policy ever. They have those behind closed doors where the people can't see them. Republicans are having their disagreements out in public in a messy way, and it makes for good media fodder. But I would argue it's probably healthier than having these conversations behind closed doors. You don't know. I know what these two gentlemen think. They're going at it. I hope they make up. Maybe they won't. But they are airing grievances in public, and that's better for our republic than the Democratic Party. What is their policies? Well, and they never discuss them in public.
Behind closed doors is the way it was done, like, I don't know, for 200 years. Yeah. But I see your point. I don't think they're making it up anytime soon. Let's put up my favorite New York Post cover right now, an example of this. I love my ex, so to speak. Annie, it's fair to ask, I think Trump hit on a point. Did Elon Musk miss the limelight? Did he love the glamour of the Oval Office? Everybody was hanging on his every word and his Doge budget cuts. And then the next thing you know, he's backing Trump's impeachment?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I was talking to some White House staff about this on Thursday and Friday, and it brought to mind the kind of comment that Carolyn Leavitt famously made when the two of them were sort of battling over a different topic. She said, boys will be boys. This White House staffer essentially said, actually, it's billionaires will be billionaires. And this is like two very large egos.
Since you mentioned boys, showmen. A lot of online commentary is sort of like, and they say women are too emotional to be president?
Yes, and too impulsive.
Too impulsive, yes.
Too emotional and too impulsive. But look, I mean, I think that this is sort of a showmanship. These are two showmen, two people who are not afraid to back down, who have a high tolerance for risk. And so seeing that play out, particularly on Thursday, is something I think that was fairly extraordinary.
I mean, it's been covered and covered and covered, but on the other hand, I don't think any of us have ever seen anything quite like this. Now, the New York Times reports that Elon was particularly ticked off that his candidate for running NASA, which is obviously important to the head of SpaceX, had been withdrawn, and that was part of what motivated this. So remember the days, so long ago, Robby, when Trump bought a red Tesla on the White House lawn, all those cars were lined up, and now he says he's selling it. So how does Elon Musk go from that to, he says, I'm dropping the big bomb? Trump's in the Epstein files. I don't think he knows. I don't think he has any special knowledge here. Bill Clinton was also a pal of Epstein. They both sort of distanced themselves after a while. And I also believe that Trump would have won the election without Elon's money regardless.
Money can only get you so far, which is why it's very interesting now to hear Democrats and media figures say, this demonstrates the toxic influence of billionaires buying elections, et cetera. Actually, I think it kind of demonstrates the opposite. It demonstrates that no matter how much money these very powerful people spend to get their preferred candidate elected, maybe that works for you if you want to grow government or get like a special industry favor. But if your goal is, as Elon Musk's stated goal is, to shrink government, no amount of spending seems to get you that. That's what the Koch brothers learned, by the way, 15 years ago in the Tea Party cycle. They spent tons of money to elect Republicans that they thought were going to be limited government. Then they didn't do that, and they're like, well, the hell with this. I'm not giving money anymore. Maybe Elon is learning that exact same lesson right now.
But is Musk, is it an apology of sorts that he took down the original post about this is the big bomb, the Epstein files?
Maybe he came down from his ketamine high or whatever the drug, there's been reporting on his drug usage and all that.
There's been reporting that the president is privately telling people that he thinks Elon has a drug problem.
I think he does
suggested
have a
in pieces in the
problem.
Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. It's not just suggested, but
yes,
reported.
There's stuff going on in his personal life that is concerning, independent of the politics of it. Look, he might have thought, it's not beyond the realm of possibility to me that they make up to some level. Reality TV is full of these kinds of explosive, you're talking about the theatrics of it. That's what happened. So I don't think it's not
Annie,
out of the...
Aren't the liberals who used to like Musk because he was a pro-environmental electric car guy and then turned on him when he bought X and went sort of totally MAGA, being a little disingenuous here? I mean, suddenly they love Elon Musk, but the reason is they don't want this bill. They want to derail this bill, and it was up to them. They'd spend even more. And Elon's complaint is that it's packed with pork and all that.
Yeah, I think I don't believe you'll really see the left embrace Elon Musk or Tesla the way that they did previous to his sort of spending and in his embrace of Trump. I mean, Elon Musk right now is very much on an island by himself. Now, it's a very well-funded island, but I don't see the Democrats really ever embracing him again. He's talked, and one of the things that he tweeted about that to me was sort of the most eye-opening was the idea of a third party and funding a third party. And that's one of the tweets that, at least as of this morning, he hadn't deleted and was sort of pinned to the top of his...
That was sort of like the old Elon, like there were all these people in the middle and I want to be their voice, but then he became, Trump's biggest booster online. That has ended. Now you have Steve Bannon, Robby, saying Elon should be deported. Well, he's a dual citizen. Trump suggesting he could terminate all the SpaceX contracts. That's an ominous threat. It also kind of underscores the built-in conflict of having the guy who is in charge of Doge have all these federal contracts. And Musk may genuinely believe that this is a bloated, pork-filled bill. Kill the bill, he says. But he's kind of pivoted to Trump is an awful human being, and he posts this like in the time that it takes to hit send.
Yeah, and I don't think any of that's helpful, and he should probably stop doing that.
So you want him to shut up?
Well, from a politics standpoint, I would recommend him not follow this line of attack on Trump. The dispute with Bannon, however, again, it's an ideological dispute. The Steve Bannon faction wants vastly less immigration of all kinds, legal, illegal, high skill, low skill, wants trade barriers to trade, wants to do all sorts of manufacturing here. The tech right, represented by Elon Musk, thinks that AI and innovation are the most important things for the next future to make sure we beat China. We have to unleash that innovation. We got to get rid of regulation, government spending to do that. So it's a policy priority. These are like about actual policy fights, and that's the dispute happening in the Republican Party. And Elon Musk won the previous fight over H-1B visas, and now Steve Bannon has won this round because Elon's flaming out a little bit. We'll see who wins the next round. That's what's going on.
Annie, this is the most fun story of all time. And Robby keeps going back to policy and substance. We're going to do that in the next block.
All right.
So Trump told Bret Baier, Elon's totally losing it. he made a round of calls to network anchors and correspondents on Friday morning to make the point that he's not even thinking about Elon, but he's spending all his time. And they were on the record saying, you know, Elon is a little bit crazy, and I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not even thinking about him. Well, okay, who we got next on the phone? Yeah.
Right. Look, I mean, it's hard to imagine that the president is giving no thought to the richest man in the world attacking him.
And his former confidant.
And his former confidant attacking him personally. But I can understand from his perspective, he wants to move on and get the focus off of Musk. I will say there are White House aides who have said that earlier in the week, they were quite worried about Musk's attacks on the big, beautiful bill and that was creating problems for them on the Hill.
Right.
But once Musk started making this into a personal attacks, that it undercut his ability to stall the big, beautiful bill. And so there was a little bit of a silver lining.
Well, many Republicans are still afraid that Musk could had the money to primary them if he were to get back into making political donations.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.